We have three former police officers in studio with us here.
Indeed.
When we did the series on 1990, you heard from the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force and the personnel who helped quell that situation. But we always missed, and the police service took care of that by having Code 727 released. But on July 27, 1990, Allan Meiguel found himself inside the Red House, caught in the chaos of the Jamaat al-Muslimin's attempted coup as a young constable. He was taken hostage along with government ministers, including the Prime Minister A.N.R. Robinson. Now, this article is an Express, and it says, Allan Meiguel from Red House hostage to anti-trafficking crusader. If there is never a person well placed in what he's doing, is this gentleman here in studio with us. Meiguel recounts, I was hiding out in a sort of closet, and this guy came in and he said, if anybody in here, you're going to die now. I'm going to spray down this room. I tell him, okay, I'm coming out.
Quiet disposition.
But when I came out,
As a man.
he's taken aback, as I am a tall figure dressed in police uniform with a cap and everything. I said, well, let's go. And he grabs me and marches me through the chambers. But he trips over the strip that holds down the carpet, and the gun went off.
Oh, wow.
The shot misses me only because he pushes me forward when he stumbles. All the insurgents inside the chamber of the Red House turned their guns towards me because they heard a shot, and they saw me in full uniform. Bilal Abdullah, as the one in charge down there, comes over and watches me. He said, what are you doing here? I said, I am a young man serving my country. I am a foot soldier, he said. I don't want to hear nothing about that. Richardson paying you to come and kill us? I said, but I am a foot soldier. I'm a constable. I made a mistake and said, listen, friend. He said, friend? I'm not a friend. Not a friend at all. He then walked away and turned his back and watched me. He said, take his uniform, let him go. They thought I was a threat. It is now 35 years later. Meiguel's career, starting as constable, has come a long way. Meiguel, director of the Trinidad and Tobago's Counter Trafficking Unit, CTU, has a law enforcement career spanning multiple disciplines, from narcotics to policy. Meiguel now finds himself at the helm of one of the country's most strategically sensitive units. For him, this mission is not just a job. It is a personal history and profoundly moral. Director Allan Meiguel.
Yes. Thank you.
If no one else who ever led this unit knew what it was like to be a hostage, you have first-hand knowledge of what it is like to be a hostage. So before we get into the substantive, please, can you enlighten us on that day and 35 years later, how you feel?
Yeah, Garth, I was a hostage there, right? And I could empathize with persons who are held against their will, victims of trafficking. But I think more importantly, I was and still am a student of history. And when I studied that triangular trade, the trading of slaves to come here, I could empathize with that, and therefore, this modern day slavery that we have in trafficking in persons, I could empathize with that too. So it seems as though my career has spanned various disciplines, and it seems as though I've come full circle, and I'm sitting now at the desk of the trafficking in persons, and I could only do my best. And anybody who know me, they know that I will do my best. I'll transform the organization. I'll ensure that we are very, very effective in terms of what we do. There are networks of people out there trading in flesh, yes, consuming children. And I'm not going to sit by and say I'm the director of Counter Trafficking and you getting away with that. No way. Ask my deputy.
Well, deputy, can you put some icing on that cake before we ask the minister to put the candle?
And I think when I first found out Mr. Meiguel was part of that whole coup attempt. I think I found a new respect for him because I'm saying that I can't. There's no way I could tell him how a girl would feel. He understands how it's to be held against his will. He understands the whole concept. So, I mean, is a greater respect for him. I mean, I'm telling him that we need to do a little kumbaya moment in the office there with some of our young officers, because not much people in that particular environment will, of course, indicate that they are here serving their country. You know, and that was crucial. That was important for me. You know, understanding that at least my leader understands what's our true purpose, and that is to serve our country.
Yes. Now, Minister, you were a police officer then. You were on the ground. Tell us about give us a little snippet of what happened.
Well, let me, first of all, let me say this about Mr. Meiguel. Experience is sometimes the only teacher, you know? Not just the greatest, sometimes the only teacher. And then when you have that type of experience, then you are able to pass on what you would have learned, your experiences, to other persons. And then sometimes you blend it in to what you're doing now as an individual, or as an officer, or as a director. And that brings you to a different level. A level of understanding what needs to be done. It is simplified in your mind because of what you went through, what these victims go through. And before the end of this program, I would like to to share something with you, because not only today is the 27th, but in a couple of days from now, we're looking at emancipation.
Right.
Can we really treat with emancipation? But my own experience at the time, on that evening, I was working at the Woodbrook police station back in those days, and I went to we were doing a guard at the gate on Richmond Street. Just arrived, it was not too long for the guard at Richmond Street, and then all this explosion and cars coming and all of that. And I remember, I could never forget this guy by the name of Aberdeen. Big strong guy, dark, working narcotics at the time. Narcotics was out on an exercise, if I recall well. And he was upstairs, and when it happened, we communicated and we took all the equipment across the road by the new school, just by the gas station. Philip Street, is it?
Yes.
Somewhere on that side, there's a school. And we took everything inside there. We tried to lock up all the doors, and we load up everything, and we say, listen, it's wrong for wrong, pong for pong if you're coming. You understand what I'm saying? So we were prepared to defend ourselves because we did not know exactly what was happening at the time. There was not, all the information wasn't coming out. There was a lot of rumbling on the police communication. So we just stayed there for 2 days.
Oh, 2 days?
Yeah, for 2 days until we were able to communicate, until we were able to move from one point to another and all of that. But at the end of the day, those experiences, as I said before, it makes you who you are today.
Yes.
Yeah.